things. We're going to do some textbook problems. These are basically kind of recapping what we already did, but they're a little bit different format. So we'll have a little bit of learning going on there. And then we'll go back into the handout, the Chapter 3 handout. Okay, let's go to, I sent out textbook problems. I apologize for sending those out late. I thought they had been sent out, but they hadn't been. Hopefully you get these in your email. If they're not in your email, I think, I was positive I put them in. Yeah, they're in the assignments if you want to jump into the assignments. They're in there also. How come this one's not, that's strange. A little clock thing. All right. Well, anyway. And so what we're going to do is kind of do these together just to, it's a good idea to kind of do things different ways. I haven't told you guys this. I need to do this at some point. How you remember things. But anyway, doing it in different formats strengthens those synapses in your mind to remember things. So we're going to do a little bit of rehashing what we did in the handout, but in a little bit different format. Okay, so 322. We have Harrison. They sold 40,000 units. This won't be the same as in your textbook. I cleaned up the numbers a little bit. $70 per unit, variable cost is 60 total. Okay, so they want us to find the operating income and the break even. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to our first chapter, our Chapter 3 handout, I should say. Go through all this stuff, and this is what we're going to look at for the first one, our income calculations. So we're going to have our sales, price of variable cost minus fixed cost equals our income. So it'll be just like this. Except with different numbers. Okay, so I'm going to put on here. You don't have to put this in. I'm just putting that in there so I know what I'm doing. Or trying to do anyways. Okay, so we're going to start out with our sales or our revenue. We'll call it sales in this one. Okay, so they sold 40,000 units. And we sold them at $70 each. I'm going to color coordinate those. Okay, so 40,000 units at $70 each. This makes it look, you know, this makes it look more confusing. Don't do that. I'm talking to myself. Don't do that. And so that's how much money came in. Should be able to do that in my head, but $2,800,000. So this is money coming in. Okay, money going out. How are we going to find the variable costs? Anyone? You guys are sleeping. Turn your mics on. You're snoring. We're going to find the variable costs. Oh, come on. Somebody knows this. You can put it in chat if you want. Put it in chat. What are the variable costs? Either put it in total or how you calculate it. Yep. There you go. 40,000 units times $60. I'm just doing this. I skipped the units part so that we could fit it on this page. So it's 2,400,000. Oops. And now remember, these costs are going out. This is what's coming in. These are going out. Oops. And the fixed costs are going out. Total fixed costs are 175,000. I'll put them together. And this will give us our operating income or net income. Let's put on income. All right. So our income is 225,000. Okay. Well, now we're going to take that same information and find the break even. I'm going to copy it down here. Okay. So they tell us there's 40,000 units sold. Now, we know how much the income is at 40,000 units. It's 225,000. So is 40,000 the break even? You can put it in chat if you want. Is 40,000 units, is that our break even point? Are we making zero income at 40,000?
No.
No. Now, here's another question. Is our break even point going to be more than 40,000 units or less?
Less.
Less. Very good. Yeah, if we're making income at 40,000, then we know that it's our break even is gonna be 11. Now we don't know what it is, at least not yet. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna say that I'll do it over here somewhere. Okay, so x equals units. Ah. Eh. Okay, so x equals units. So we don't know what the how many units it is yet, but we know that each unit is being sold for $70. And we don't know the unit still, but we know that each of those is going to cost us 60. Fixed costs we do know. 75,000. And at break even, this should be 0. All right, so we're just going to solve for that. Solve for x. Seventy x minus 60x is 10x. So 10x equals 175,000. And I am just going to, hey, I am going to make these a little closer. Okay, so 10x equals 175, so just divide both sides by 10. And we'll get x equals, what is it, 17,500? I think it's 17,500. 17,500. So 17,500 units should get us break even. So our break even in units is that. And our break even in dollars are the units times our selling price. So this would be our rate here in sales or in dollars or however they want to say it, whatever that is. $1 million. Oops, forgot the dollar sign and the 1. Okay. So there's our break even in units and in dollars. And again, we knew that it was going to be less than 40,000 because at 40,000 we're making some income. So the question is, how much less? Excuse me. Okay, let's go to the second one. The second one is actually the same thing pretty much, except that the numbers are kind of small. Talking about less than $1, so they go. Sometimes it trips people up. All right, let's kind of walk through this one. It's same as before. So we're going to have our sales, 5 million units. These numbers look especially big in here. Oh, they're at 20. No wonders. What am I doing, man? They do look big because they're giant. Okay, 5 million units, and we're selling is at 50 cents each. That'd be half that, right? 2,500,000. Variable costs, same thing. Each unit's going to cost us 30, so this will be variable cost. Show you how to be lazy like me. So this is money coming in, money going out, and we'll also put the fixed cost going out. And we'll get our income. Is it 100,000? That seems low. But it's not. That is it. Okay, so this is our income. So our break even is going to be less than 5 million. Okay, so we got to find the break-even point, and again, we know it's going to be less than 5 million units. We just don't know how much it is. And like before, I'm going to copy this down. Hey, I didn't put in the spaces for them on this one. Okay, well, we'll do the break-even, and we'll figure out the. All right. So our sales, again, let's do the, so I'm going to have X equal units. And we don't know the break-even units just yet, but we know that each one is, we were selling it for 50 cents. Our variable cost. Oops. Okay. Getting all the numbers on one side, we're going to add the 900,000 to each side. Combine our terms here. $0.50 minus 30 cents is what, 20 cents? Equals 900,000. Getting those closer together. Size by 0.2. X equals 4,500,000. And again, we knew it was going to be less than 5 million. Oh, wait, I got to get the. I didn't put this thing down there. I'll put it down here. Okay, so break even in units is 4,500,000. Right. Here. I don't know what I did. Some kind of weird formatting I just did. Okay, break even in dollars will look like this. Times the selling price is 0.50, whatever that is. 2,250,000. Okay, so we can put that into Blackboard. Okay, so a little review. All right, let's jump back into the handout. Okay, well, let's go on this. So this is break-even point if there's a tax rate. And basically we want to find the after-tax income is what we're talking about here. So if we have after-tax income, we want, or we have taxes, I should say, we probably want the after-tax income, how much we're going to be able to keep. And it may differ between projects, but anyway, so this is the after-tax income we're targeting for. At breaking even, our income is 0. We have a tax rate of 25%. And we'll notice that the taxes is not in our little equation here, so we'll have to make some adjustments. Let's take the first one first, though. Our break-even point. Taxes will actually not have any impact on your break-even point. Why? Why won't tax, if you're looking at the break-even point, the taxes don't come into play? You put it in chat if you want. How much in taxes do you pay if you're making 0 income?
Because the income is 0, there's no taxes to be paid.
Exactly. The break-even point, the income is 0. It doesn't matter what the tax is, 5%, 50%, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. Your income is 0 times anything. So the tax rate is not going to have any impact on your break-even. So we'll go ahead and just do that one the way we've always been doing it. Okay, so this one's going to be just exactly the same as we were used to. So selling price is 163. Okay, so just like we've done it several times before. So X equals units. Excuse me. Oops. Okay. The computer's making a funny sound. All right, minus 300,000. So if we add 300,000 to each side, trying to get all the numbers on one side and the variable on the other. So minus 300,000 plus 300,000, just zero. Plus 300,000. 0 plus 300,000 is 300,000. Seven. 1,500 units. Excuse me. I think it looks like that. Okay. Now, this after tax income, we have to get it to the before taxes. And we do it through, I'm going to condense it here. Oops. We're going to divide our after tax income that we desire by 100% minus the tax rate. And this will get us our before tax income, which we can fit right into our equation. It's a better way to format this. So we're trying to get back to our before tax income. So we basically have to take the after tax and take it 100%, the tax rate minus divided by 100% minus the tax rate. Okay, so let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so in our case, I know I'm going to do this a little bit differently. 1 second. Okay, so in our case, we're going to take 150,000 and we're going to divide it by, oops, we're going to divide it by 100% minus our tax rate, and our tax rate in this case is 25%. And that has to be given to you. Okay, so 100% minus 25%. So this is our tax rate. Okay, so I'm going to take that. So we end up with 150,000. You guys probably already had this figured out. Divided by 100% minus 25% is what, 75%? I'm going to put that into decimals. Oops, not that. Okay, so if we put 75% into a decimal, it'll look like this. Right? So 150,000 divided by 0.75 equals what? Anyone? Put it in chat if you want. Yep, very good. Yeah, so this would be $200,000. So in other words, we have to make $200,000 And if you think about it, the government's going to take 25% of that, so we'll be left with the 150,000. So, long story short, what we need to do is make 200,000 because the government's going to take 25% of that, and we're going to be left with the other 75%, which is 200,000. No, sorry, 150,000. What's left over. So we need to make $200,000 before tax to have $150,000 after tax. Okay, so we come down to our equation. Everything's the same except we plug in 200,000 for our operating income. Okay, so this is the same as before. Be supremely lazy here. Our operating income will be $200,000. So we'll have to make 200,000 to have 150,000 left over. And did I mess something up here? Okay. So 200,000 plus 300,000 what? 500,000? So this would be our equation. So this is that 200,000 that we had to come up with. This is going to be our before tax. This looks so funny. I don't know. We goofed up somehow here. All right, and so then we just same as before. I'm gonna move this down. Oops. $12,500 units. Maybe I'll check my math on that one. I think it's right though. Okay. So that is the wacky one. So we got to jump through a little bit of hoops here to get this one. Tell you what, go ahead and do number 6. You can do number 6 on your own. And we'll come back. Let me see here. We'll be back at, let's say, be back at let's say 305. So see if you can work this one on your own. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. Here we go. And be back at 305 and I'll put the solution up. Let's see, take a chance on your own. See if you can figure this one out on your own. Break even is going to be exactly the same. This one is going to be the problem one. This is one you're going to have to divide 100% minus the tax rate. Here's the tax rate. Oops. Well, okay. By the way, so say, well, why don't we do that with the break even? You could. There's nothing wrong with it, but notice that break even is 0. So 0 divided by anything is going to be 0. It isn't that it's wrong if you do it; it's just you don't need to. So you could plug in 0 here, and it'll give you back 0, but you don't need to. It's not wrong though. Okay, so this is what you should have gotten for, well, here's the break even for number 6, which is probably doing your sleep by now. But the tax rate one. So this is sort of the, do this differently. So we need to make $400,000 so that when the government takes away 40% of it, we'll be left with 240. So this is our before tax income is going to be the 400,000. And this is what we're going to plug into our equation. We got to make 400,000 so that we can have 240,000 left over. Do you guys want to see the math on that one? How you guys want to see like an income statement on it, or do you think you're okay with it? I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it, but I also don't want to bore you with it if you're really not interested in seeing how that all ties out.
I would, Professor.
Okay. Yeah, let's see here. Where should I do it? I'll do it down here. I'll add a page on here. Okay, so it'll look like this. Oops. So let me label this. So this will be the income statement with taxes for problem, is that 6? Okay, so for problem 6. Okay. So here's what it would look like. We'd have our income, we'd have our sales, 260,000 units times $15 each. And so this would be our money coming in would be the 1 million, no, 3 million. Thousand. Our variable costs will be the 2 million, or excuse me, 260,000. That should be a comma. And the variable costs are $15 each. No, they're $10 each. What am I saying? So this will be minus 2,600,000. And the fixed costs were what, 900,000? Okay, and the fixed costs were 900,000. Okay, now this is going to give us an income before taxes. You know, how much are we going to make before we got to pay some to the government? So hopefully that comes out to 400,000. Yeah. Okay, so that's our 400,000. So that's our before tax income. Okay, well, the government's not going to take their taxes out, which is 40%. 400,000. That's 40%, or I just put it. I just put it this. It's not confusing. What was it? 160,000. And so this will give us our income after taxes. $400,000 minus 160. Yes, that's the 240. Yeah, a long way around the barn, but that's 240 that we wanted for our after tax income up here. So this is kind of how it would work out in it. Well, I mean, that would be shown in the balance. It's in here, but this would be how it would be shown like as an income statement. So we want an after tax income of 240,000. So this is how we would do it. Now we have to make more than 240,000 because the government's going to take some of it. So that's why we have this kind of conversion thing that we have to do above. But because this is what's in our equation. This down here isn't. There's other ways to solve this, but this is, usually the quickest one is just to divide by 100% minus the tax rate. Yeah, so we have to get the income statement for that one. Question on that? think I'm gonna stop here for today because this next one's gonna take a while. Are there other ones on here we can do? Nope. Okay. Well, I tell you what. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop here. Next class we'll go into this multiple units, and then we'll do a practice test for chapter 3. So for today, you can turn this in. So turn in the 2 textbook problems. Don't turn in the chapter 3 handout yet. We still have the 1 more page, or 2 more pages to go. And again, this one's going to take a little longer. This is I don't know. I'm not sure if it'll take a good hour for us to go through that.
So this week only the textbooks problems are due?
Yes, I think I might add 1 more textbook problem next week. There's one that has multiple manufacturing locations doing break even and doing the income statement for each of those. I might add that in. I'll have to take a look at next week, see how much, try to make it manageable as far as what we're going to be doing. But there might be 1 more problem that we get added. But other than that, yeah. So the handout, the last 2 problems, 7 and 8, those will basically be the backbone of the test. So the test is going to have the one that gets missed the most is doing the income statement, just the plain income statement. People always try to do the break even on it, but the plain old income statement, like we did on the first 2 problems, there's going to be a break even, obviously a normal break even. Then there's going to be a break even with taxes, like we just did, And then there's going to be a multiple product break even, which we haven't done yet. So that's what we'll do next week. So next week we'll finish up this handout. We'll do a practice test, and we might do one more problem out of the book. Any questions? Okay, I know it's a little short this week, but oh well. All right, so I will.
So we don't have to submit anything for this week.
Actually, the first handout that I sent out, the textbook problems, 322 and 325. Here, you can submit those in. We just finished those today. That was like the first half of class.
Okay.
Yeah, and then and so you can go ahead and submit those. Hold off on this handout though. The handout is we'll do that. We'll finish that up next week. Okay. All right. Have a good day, and I will see you in a week's time. See ya.
You.